to everyone listening right now, if you believe that we went to the moon, do yourself a favor and just Google lunar lander and just take a look at it.
Right.
This thing is made out of paper mache and curtain rods.
Some
right?
tinfoil.
Yeah, a little bit of tinfoil. There's no way that this thing went through the Van Allen radiation belts.
No.
On top of that,
go ahead.
The roamer that you see them driving around in, right? That thing was apparently inside this lunar lander. And it has, do you remember the lawn chairs from the 1970s? Those MacTac lawn chairs? Those were the driving seats for this thing with the fat tires, right? Okay. Also, the lunar lander was videotaped taking off from the moon. Well, what did you guys just left that cameraman up there? Like, what the hell's going on? This is back when you had to film shit, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, there's no plausible
different light
way.
sources because there's different shadows going different directions on the moon.
Yeah, and you can see the horizon all around you.
Yeah.
There's people that it's funny when you get into that conversation because these are when the real NPCs come out. They're like, yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about, right? And I'm like, why would somebody? And that when I was first getting into quote unquote getting into conspiracies, when I was first starting to see things, I was like, why would somebody fight that? Why would it be so important to a random person to be like, we absolutely went to the moon, guy?
Right.
Why is that so important?
Right.
Like, I've got a friend of mine who sort of, I don't know if he maxed out, but he was or is a 9/11 aficionado, and he only deals with, like, that's the only conspiracy he deals with. But he's in groups. He talks about it daily. I'm like, that sucks, man. That's the only thing that you're doing, right? But I've seen him and I've gone into the groups and I've seen the comments and people still talking. And I look at these comments of these people, and these people are like adamant that a plane hit the Pentagon. Are you fucking mad? There's no possible way a plane hit the Pentagon.
Right. No fuselage. It was too low.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. It did not happen. And you're looking at these people going, it absolutely happened. Like there's an argument for everything. And I think to myself, why? What kind of a person absolutely needs to defend the written narrative? It blows me away. Like I'm freaking out over here. It just blows me away. Like I got a buddy of mine, and this was one of my best friends growing up in Ottawa. It's one of my best friends. I loved this guy. And we were talking about the trucker rally that rolled through town. You may have remembered there was a few trucks that hit Ottawa for a minute there.
Yeah, I was there for 5 days.
Yeah. And it was all free food, barbecues, good times.
Love.
Yeah.
Camaraderie, freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you turned on the news, it was death camps and Nazis and fucking who knows what else, right? And what was there saying? You guys were honking horns and people were afraid to go outside. There are people that are terrified that the horns are honking.
Phantom honking. Honking.
I've got PTSD from honking.
Yeah.
Right? The honking took place for like 3 or 4 days, and then people have PTSD. But that never happened. Right? That was just all news spin. And so now my buddy who's systematically been kind of moving away from me because I'm me.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, no, man. People won't even go, like businesses are shutting down because people won't go downtown to those businesses. They can't get down there with their trucks. They can't stand the honking. So it's bad for all business that these trucks are down there. I'm like, bro, it's been a year that the government shut down everybody. And you know what happened? The trucks rolled in. Trudeau disappeared. He just, I don't know, went away.
Yeah, well, he had COVID for the 5th time.
That's right.
What is your favorite conspiracy right now? What's the one that you enjoy talking about the most?
Not
necessarily conspiracy, but what some people would consider to be conspiracy. What are you enjoying?
So in the long run, I'm a huge fan of the Mandela effect. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that conspiracy. I love how it's constantly changing. I love how it's constantly growing. In the immediate short term, my absolute favorite thing to talk about right now, and it'll be for like 2 days from now, 2 days before and 2 days from now, and then it'll be done.
Okay.
But it's the zombie burgers. For anyone that doesn't know, all of the burger companies, quote unquote, randomly, so it would appear randomly that they're giving a discount on their burgers. But mad cow disease is a real thing. Was a thing like back in the early 2000s. And mad cow was the result, apparently, of cows eating beef. gave them mad cow.
Okay.
So there was an episode of The Simpsons.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say, if you go to The Simpsons, I'm ending this podcast. But go ahead.
No. The Simpsons was Krusty Burger was giving out beef squared. Beef squared was super burgers because it was cows fed to cows. Right now, can you hear the train in the background? That's cool if you can. If it makes it in, I don't know if this microphone will pick it up. So the zombie burgers are beef squared, and that was in The Simpsons, beef squared. Now the whole thing was like predicated on the fact that Wendy's is the only place that has square patties, which is beef squared. And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is the kind of shit that you and I were talking about earlier. It's like, it's absolutely hilarious. Now, first and foremost, I don't believe in it for 1 second. Also, I'm never going to buy those burgers, just in case.